Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. For those of you that have been with us all day, we appreciate your support. If you're watching this on demand, welcome. This is going to be a very special closeout session for day 3 here at CMA Industry Week. Of course, we've been showcasing BB Distribution all day and their brands. But I could confidently say we've saved the most fun and the coolest for last. I'm going to bring on our representation from BB Distribution, my partner in crime all day long, Mr. Justin Bond.
What's going on, Ben? Nearing the finish line, buddy.
We're at the finish line, but this one's going to be super fun. I'm in no rush to get this over with. I see you're already set up, mobile solutions, but more specifically, we're going to be talking about Mastertech. So for those of you who don't know, Mastertech, of course, is the education fabrication branch of mobile solutions and Bryan Schmitt, who we had on earlier. But we have something a little bit more special lined up, don't we?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're getting an actual launch for the first time of a brand new product with Bryan Schmitt, with Mobile Solutions, with BB Distribution. It doesn't really happen like this, so it's super exciting for us. And like you said, we are reinforcing and reestablishing the Mastertech brand in itself with Bryan. So we're launching the brand new GT template today. Pay attention, guys, to the code that's going to scroll across the bottom of your screen, because we're going to give a couple of these away to you guys too. So first here to have it, first here for you guys to have it, live draw on Friday night for these kind of things.
So let's establish this once again. This is a premiere, a launch of this brand new product from the mind of Bryan Schmitt and Mastertech. So without any further ado, why don't we connect to Mobile Solutions in Arizona and see what Bryan has cooked up for us this evening. Hey, Bryan.
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, especially when I see the the environment that I see you in.
We are set up. This is our studio. So hey, we're super excited. Thank you for having us, CMA, BB Distribution, our partners in Canada. We love you guys both. Yeah, we're super excited for today, and this is something that I've been in kind of the works on for quite a while, and we're excited to launch it. Today is the first day, and what better way to do it on on this platform? So some of you guys know about our other templates, and we have a lot of builders, fabricators, and fans that use our whole other template line. So we have a whole variety of templates, and this is the newest to the family. It's a cool piece, and it's blending kind of our shape templates with our SFS, our smart frame system technology together. It has multiple things and some new technology there that we'll actually break down and show you guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that you'll enjoy some of the things we're going to show. We're going to do some live demonstrations and give you guys some examples of what can be done. This is just a little glimpse of what can happen with this template, and it's all about efficiency and making money. It's obviously, if you want to make your own custom shape, we have other templates, and the actual smart frame system itself is awesome for that. But this is really a production piece. You don't have to use it off the shelf. It is very cool. So let me kind of show you some of the nuts and bolts of it. This is the actual design right here. And it's got some cool geometry. It's very sleek. It's very clean. The name GT is Gran Turismo, is named after a racetrack in Europe. And there's a lot of cars that have GT in them. GT Bentley and Mustang and Lexus. There's a lot of cars. So it has the automotive DNA built into it. And that's kind of where we've got this foundation of, is it's automotive history blended into this template. So you could call this automotive DNA. It's not trying to be a grill of a front end grill or a shape or anything. It just has its own shape that's very sleek, that would hold amplifiers behind it, woofers, 2, 3, 1, doesn't matter, 5. It's a nice opening to kind of give you a cosmetic view area. So before I kind of break this down on some of the elements of this, let's show a couple slides of this actually finished. We're going to fast forward to some different shapes. So this is a build that we did. I built this, it was about a year ago, a little over a year ago, in an Audi A6 for one of our good friends, Randy Blackburn from Car Toys up in Seattle. This was in his car, and it's super clean. And you can see we did some lighting in there. It's got a nice transition, so it has that ovalized mesh that's running vertical, and then the lighting with acrylic. I think I did 1/4 inch behind that. And then that silver piece is that's actually a panel that's routered and it's primered and body shaped. There's a blend there, and it gives you that 3D illusion. It's really cool, kind of aggressive. And then the outer parts of it, the right and left of it, are vinyl wrapped, and then we did carbon fiber for those inserts. It's really cool. So, you can see there is a lot of flexibility with this template. It's really clean and super simple. As far as just an elegant look to it. So let's go to the next slide, and I'll kind of catch up our screens as well. Here's a raw piece, and guys, I always like to see these pieces right here. I think this is important to talk about. We're going to build a couple of these pieces right now, and we're going to start with a base plate and then kind of work our way through it. And you see that it has kind of a left and right wing to it, like a C shape, if you will, on the outer edges that kind of breaks up the panel into 4 segments. So you have a left and right, a top and bottom. And this is where that new technology comes into play. We've actually made it so you can use it as a continuous circle or ring, if you will. It's not a circle, but a continuous shape. Or you could break it up into individual parts if you want to and have custom inserts, logos, branded stuff in those top or bottom pieces, which makes it very different than any of our other templates. So it's pretty cool. What do you think, Ben?
I mean, Bryan,
Yeah.
I have a very high expectations at this point of everything you put out, but I have to say I'm already envisioning that type of shape in so many different trunks and applications. And you set off the top of the hour amps, speakers. I'm now looking at different lighting options you could do to that, and the different materials you can use to fill the middle. But hey, that's just me. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to take down notes and circle back with you once you get going on how you, on this demonstration.
All right, copy that. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So now this slide is really showing it in primer. That actually looks like vinyl, but in all of our builds, guys, we like to primer it. So this is a polyester primer. It uses the same MEKP as you use in fiberglass resin, but it's for primer. So it's super thick. It's very thick. You need like a 1.5 to a 1.7 tip orifice to shoot it out of an HVLP gun. It's not nothing in a can will work. It's got to be a poly-based primer. There's a lot of brands out there. We use all kinds of Duratec and some other brands. Find those from your local auto body supplier. But what this does is it stabilizes the panel. So if you're in humid weather or you're by the coast or you're scared about pulling the leather or the vinyl or the suede off down the road, if you have that primer underneath, it's never a problem. It never pulls up the wood in chunks. And it's just the detail, the lines, the hard lines. Look at those hard lines and those details. That's the stuff that matters to us. We want to see those crisp lines and not washed out, and that's what the primer does. So when you cover this thing, it's just a really smooth, sharp line along those edges, and they blend together beautifully. And so even that piece in the center, it's impossible to make that without doing primer. So we just shoot it. You could brush it on. If you don't have a paint booth or area to spray it, you could just brush the primer on and then sand it out. If you have an area outside or somewhere in your shop that is deemed as a paint booth, we actually have a paint booth. We have a full-size booth for motorcycles. I can paint this in ours, and it works out great. But it's just an option. I do like to talk about it because I like to seal the wood. And if you're not going to make it all out of plastic, this is an alternative. Some guys are just like, oh, I just use all plastic for everything. This is an alternative. I like to primer everything we do. So next slide. So now this slide it's still in primer, but we're testing the lighting. I want to check that lighting. I want to make sure it's good. Or maybe it is vinyl. It is black vinyl. It is vinyl. Okay, the screens are small. We did that. That is finished, and you see how crisp the lines are. in the carbon fiber. We actually did a carbon fiber laminate in this one. You wouldn't know that, but it's actually a carbon fiber laminate. And it's flat. You don't see the edge, and that's how you disguise it, is you countersink that carbon fiber so you can't see the edge, and no one will ever know. So keep our secret safe with us, okay? All right, so let's finish here. I think we might have one more. This might be the end of the slides. I'm not sure. Here's one with the lights off, and just how that thing lights up like Christmas. So it's super cool. And notice it's not just edge lit on the inside. I kept a gap on the outer edge, so that gray ring that's in the middle, there's an 1/8 gap around it as well. So that gray piece is actually floating on a piece of acrylic, so it lights from both sides. I did LEDs pointing in both directions, inside and outside, all the way around it. It's subtle, but you really wouldn't be able to tell unless you had a picture like this where everything was blacked out and you could just see it light up. So that's kind of a cool feature, and that's the gaps that we're going to talk about in just a second on how to gap this thing. All right, so now let's make some dust. Let's actually do this thing. And before I start, I just want to get some feedback from BB and Ben. You guys, what do you think of our new template? Give us some feedback on this.
I mean, I'll speak first. You know, like all the templates that you have, they're built with such purpose, right? And they're so, oh God, you always try to find different layers to the use of them. And I've watched you present these before, but I think what I see here is a one that's very visually impactful compared to the basic, previous models that I've been privy to seeing. I'd like to hear what Justin has to say.
Bryan Schmitt once said to me in a training, I get it. You know how to use a 45-degree chamfer bit, okay? And I think a lot of the cues that Bryan does with emphasis is he emulates OEM style and design. And that's what I see when I look at this kit. And the shape itself is finished. Do you know what I mean? Like if you just use you got so nice and so complex in those with the multi-layers and the different bits, but even just cutting the shape and putting a pressed grill behind it is a finished shape, which I think is super cool. So, with this whole GT kit and all the different templates you get, it's like the possibilities are endless, and it all looks like a shape that you would see in an OEM vehicle. And I think that's the craziest, coolest thing about a lot of the stuff that Bryan's doing right now, because everybody wants custom now, but they want it to look OEM. They don't want volcanoes in the trunk, right?
Yep. Yeah. We talked about that. No more. The aquarium thing is a little bit passe. We can't do that no more.
Pounds of Bondo, 36 layers of fiberglass, weighs 512 pounds. Paint it. It's good. Ship it. Doesn't happen anymore. It's OEM style materials. It's OEM style finishes. It's OEM style cues, design cues. There's people that could pay a ton of money for these design cues in these cars. And I think this template really starts off right at the bat of being a completely finished product from day one. And it just allows you, with the rest of Bryan's tools, to just keep getting better and better and better. Bryan didn't become a master at what he does overnight, but as he progresses, he learns and he sees more things. And, I'm sure Bryan's probably been in a rental vehicle before and been like, oh, that's a really cool shape. Or, oh, I like the way that wood flows into this leather. The stitching's pretty fantastic on this, right? And he's pulling inspiration from everything. And I think that's what everyone as us as installers in the industry now have to do.
It also feels like it's something I could buy. It gets me a little bit close to looking like Matt Schaefer's, finished products, because I'm looking at the layers and everything. I'm just saying that's what I see. But I'm excited to see what this does.
And hold on, it doesn't involve laser.
Yes,
right? I think there's talks about how laser is this and that in the industry, and I'm like, man, look at the stuff Bryan has a laser. Bryan has an CC, but look what Bryan can rip off in front of you with a router table and a couple bits.
Well, it's about to go down.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more tools you have, the better. So this is just part of your arsenal, and you got to think of this as we've kind of coined this phrase, it's called production high end. We want to do super high-end work, but on a production level. So if I only have a couple hours, this is going to lend to that really nicely, and I can crank out something really cool and give me a cosmetic shape. So what we like to do, and this is kind of my styles, I personally don't like to see the woofers. I don't like to see the amps. I want to have some type of viewing window, if you will. You look through this viewing window and we determine what this looks like. So this is your finished cosmetics. You don't get to see the actual just woofer just sitting there. It's behind something. It's behind a layer. First of all, you can't touch the woofer. It's a grill or an amplifier. You can't try to adjust it. So we want that layer behind it. So that's kind of the premise is this is always spaced off a couple inches from a woofer or an amplifier, and it's just kind of a false panel that's removable, maybe with some magnets, whatever. And it just makes it so much easier. And all you have to do is worry about trimming it to the outside of the car. We've done the hard part for you. Not an easy shape to make. And I'm going to explain this. I want you to really look at some of the geometry behind this, okay? It's not a simple shape. It looks simple, but it's actually really not. And I'm going to point out some of the things. If you look at the progression right here, these are not parallel lines. Actually, very little of this is actually a parallel line. This and this, it graduates. So this is getting bigger on each one is actually different. The spacing from here to here, and that's actually blending to your eye. That's what it gives it the cool factor. When you look at it, if it's just parallel, it doesn't look the same. But as it gets, small to fat, it gives it kind of shoulders, if you will. It makes it stout, makes it flow. And that's what, this variance does. And it's same with here. Some of these things change. All the shapes, they have, it's not a consistent wall thickness, if you will, all the way around. So like here's our one of our finished pieces. This could be acrylic. Another piece fits on top of it, and so on. So let's start our process here. Let me show you guys a couple things about this template. These holes in the center, we have a lot of them, and I have a couple pieces right here. I'll just use this number 3. There's 5 pieces to this set. I want to just point out this. I get a lot of questions on this. If you look, I'm going to come up close to the camera. It's got 3 holes, okay, in the center. That's by design. And that's so you could take, if you own this system, which I'm sure a lot of folks do, this fits together on center. So if I take these bolts right here, line it up, and that's why you got the countersinks right here. It's a 1/4 bolt, and this goes all the way through. Let me just bolt this together so you guys can see. This allows you to actually router it on half. It's actually right on half, and then that piece fits on here. Let's set this in here, and you can use it with the adjustable rail as well. So if it's on this, let's actually use that adjustable. So this will slide on like so. So you have a base rail or an upper rail or adjustable. Let's set this on here. Make sure it's pushed tight to one side. Tighten this up, and then I'm going to bring this up to the camera so you can see. But what's cool about this is we're actually building half. All right, I need my little.
30 seconds.
I had it out here for a second. But I want you guys to look at this. So now you can see that intersection on this edge right here. So we're going to come in with that router right here. It's actually routering right on the halfway point. And that's why you want those 3 center lines there. So it's pretty cool. Gives us a lot of flexibility. I didn't have that exactly pushed down, so make sure I'm on the center. Tighten that up. But if you look at those crosshairs, it's right on center. So I would router this half, and then I would just have a half section. So that's why there's the 3 holes. You could do on center or left or right. That's what those are for. And then you can do any configuration you want with that. So, and always tighten it up. That's why we got the, our 5/30 seconds Allen here, and we can just tighten that, and it's very stout. So, cool piece. I just wanted to point out on why these holes are here. They're not by accident. None of them are. It's there to show the geometry, and I can connect. I can add a bridge in the center. I could do whatever I want, and all those holes are really kind of designed to work with our smart frame system. So if you have the Pro set or the Essential set, it works perfect. All right, so let's talk about some other cool stuff here. Let's talk about this intersection on that top rail and then the side, the left and right pieces. So if you want to link these two together, this is something new. Let me point this out. I'm going to bring it up to the camera. If you could see that, it has a shoulder on it. It's a 1/32 inch shoulder that actually locks together. So these two interlock like this. It doesn't seem like a lot, but just that little shoulder locks that thing in with just one bolt, and it is very strong. It's super stout. Let me show you. Same thing. You're gonna, and this does come with the hardware. So you get 4 bolts, top and bottom. Here's this, and I'll lock this in, and it's actually amazing how strong this is. Once you tighten that, I mean, look at that. So that little shoulder keeps that from moving 100%, and that's how you can link the top and bottom. So new technology, it's really cool. You'll see more of this in future templates. So just a couple features there on how to use it. These pieces, I mean, they're pretty cool. That would be kind of hard to design by hand. This could be its own shape, and that's how I did it in the Audi, is I made this its own shape, and I actually did do some type of chamfer on the outside of it and then intersected it back in there. The template also comes with undersized ones. So if you look at this, this has the top and bottom original. These are gapped for vinyl and carpet right now. So you actually get 2 sets. You get one with a shoulder, and then you get an insert. So there's 2 different things that you get, and so you get 2 tops and 2 bottoms, and the difference is
Oh, looks like we might have a little freeze there from Bryan. Man, he was just getting to the good part too, Justin.
Yeah, totally. I'm sure he'll jump back on right away.
I know he will for sure. So what did we learn so far? We learned that it's yet another amazing kit from Mobile Solutions. That was the obvious part. But did you see the way those 2 pieces go together? Totally. I have not seen a template that connects that way yet.
I think it's really unique. Definitely having the off-center center points as well. The ability to do that, to split it directly in half or taper to each side. Build a beam in the center to separate 2 woofers, I think is really useful. I mean, the nice thing is it's a very, looking at it here, it's a very kind of complete kit, the amount of templates that you get with it is just huge value. The marking, the drill points, all the fastening points with the smart template system is going to be super awesome. So, I mean, as soon as Bryan comes back and finishes that demo, I'm sure we'll all be amazed to see kind of what he's got going on.
The one thing I didn't get a chance to say when he asked me what I thought it was just a great way to frame and make it a showpiece. You know what I mean? It draws your eyes to the middle. But if you put the money into whether they're the woofers or the amplifiers or DSP or whatever it may be, what a nice way to frame it.
Yeah, totally. And like I said, to me, when I look at it, it reminds me of a grill. Of a car grill or something cool like that. So, or of a design.
You mean the front fascia grill?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Or something that you would see definitely in modern or more advanced cars coming out. It's that very aggressive, except really kind of refined style. And I think it's a really, really cool template set. I think he's going to do really well with it.
Now, was there a delivery? When is it available?
So I have one with me right now that we're going to be giving away. And then he looks like he's in the process of manufacturing or finishing up a run. So that would be a question for him, but I would assume that it's going to be quite quick.
Quite quick. Now, with BB Distribution, you guys carry the entire Mobile Solutions fabrication kit line, right?
So we do have access, but Bryan has too many SKUs that I don't stock every single SKU.
But you can order it.
But I can order it, and Bryan is very good at getting it to us. So,
Oh, sounds very, very cool.
Yeah, it's been really cool. It's a good attachment for a lot of dealers. It's a good reason to start doing business with us. I mean, you look at what Bryan builds, it's exciting. And once again, it all boils down to this industry needs to be exciting.
Speaking of exciting, I'm going to go up and throw up the digits right now.
Perfect. There's the code for the draws. Remember, it goes to midnight tonight, Eastern.
Still got a couple hours.
Got a couple hours. I know it's getting late out there, but make sure you put in those Mastertech points. And originally we were going to give points away, but with Bryan and telling us that he wants us to give these away, that's even better. So yeah, you're gonna get some hard, tangible mobile solutions first run product, which is gonna be pretty badass. All
right, so we're giving away a couple kits. There's your code. I'm gonna let it run just so you get it. There it is. And we've been doing this all day. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's some ridiculous amount of giveaways that you guys are giving away. And what about the deals? We got to mention about the deals because this is what Industry Week is all about as well.
You betcha. So all of our enticing promotions are available for you guys on our Facebook BB Distribution Promotions page. If you do not have access, please reach out to your local BB representative and they'll do their best to get you access right away. Call our head office or call us and we will figure out a way. Add us as a friend. There's multiple ways we will get you sorted out so you have access to that.
All right. There's the codes. I just want to make sure everybody sees that. You have until midnight tonight. The offers that we're talking about, count them, 86 different product offers. You can find them on the BB Distribution Facebook group. Make sure you ask your sales representative to get you the invite to get into that group so you have access. And not to be missed, this Friday, Tech Tracks.
Yes.
That's where we're giving away everything, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we can actually talk about that. Pretty cool. So Tech Tracks started with us at our BB Expo. And it was just a kind of a way after the day of trainings to reward dealers and people for tuning in. So we want to take that idea and implement it to the viewers of the CMA Industry Week. So that is going to be kind of our live broadcast, slightly round table where we're just going to have some serious fun and talk about the whole experience, how it went down. And I mean, we're giving so much stuff away that might take
that might take up the whole time. But yeah, I heard a rumor, maybe, and we'll see if it comes true. But I have on my script a certain Jay Haberman that's supposed to show up at that Tech Tracks event.
Oh, that'd be cool. With the almighty hat to grace.
He's on the script. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna try to make that happen. See if we can twist his arm. But lots of stuff to give away, and that's, from what I understand, that's something you do regularly at an in-person situation, right? The Tech Tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, so and we reward them for just kind of being a participant. Training's great, fun training's better, and fun training with free shit is even the best.
Nothing wrong with some free-ish. I know I'm getting some messages here that Bryan is working his way back in, so cool. I'm going to take this opportunity kind of just to review what an amazing day we had together. Shout out to all your exhibitors that took the time to come out. And here's what I have to say. Shout out to the BB team, because like you guys watching, you have no idea. Did you see all the switches these guys did all day? Did you see all those videos these guys prepared?
Bro, it was a lot of time. Yeah, it was a lot of time, but it really was worth it. And I mean, I wouldn't be as good as I am. That sounds totally facetious, but without the guys.
Topper.
Yeah,
Topper.
That I wouldn't be anywhere without the guys behind me and the support that our vendors give us and the support that the BB distribution team is. They are everything for us. And if you deal with BB distribution, how far we go to do the best thing. We look at everything we do as a partnership. It's all give and take, and we appreciate the business and we appreciate our customers just like we appreciate our staff.
Amen to that. All right. I know he's on his way in. Let's see. Let's make sure we do the checklist. It's been a long day. I don't want to miss anything. So we had the code. We're doing the giveaways. There's the Tech Tracks on Friday.
Yep.
There's the deals that are going on, and you have to get onto the Facebook page. And the way to get on a Facebook page is you got to contact your BB representative, because there are 86 deals on that page.
Right. Don't worry. Oh. They're running for a while, so you're not missing anything today. except for the codes. And that you would already probably be a BB distribution dealer and have the Team BB rewards. If not, do your best to get signed up. But yeah, so we're going to make sure that you guys are fully taken care of as long as CMA Industry Week is going down. And into the French segment too, because we want all of our specials to be available for our lovely French Canadian dealers and new dealers as well.
And we're coming back on Friday with a couple more sessions in the evening to continue
Friday's
BB.
Really cool. Yeah, Friday's actually going to be really cool. We're going to do our second Ground Zero session, where we're going to get into the uranium lineup and the little higher end, the DSP, the SQ side of things. I'm going to take apart a uranium amplifier.
I was just going to say, because they love showing off the insides. Why don't we just do one live?
Yeah,
Open it up.
I'm going to do that. And then we have our dedicated Harley episode. So that's going to be a really big episode for Focal as well. Those Harley specific speakers, we've generated a lot of momentum, out here in the West and out in the East. It's starting to get a little bit crazy for us with the Harley and the Harley packages. So we're going to talk about those speakers. We're going to talk about the innovation behind them. We're going to talk about
wait. Remember, I got promised an unboxing of the new Flax Focal Inside.
Correct.
Application.
They're currently in our Oakville warehouse right now, available for order. Go ahead. There's not very many of them.
I don't think they're in the system yet.
No, and we're getting a set shipped here ASAP so we can do the unboxing on Friday with you guys. Which is going to be really cool. So, I mean, when you look at it today, we've brought a lot of cool new things, right? We launched Museway nationally for the first time ever, showed people that brand new. We looked at Powerbase, brand new sound bars. You know what I mean? Brand new. We got Bryan Schmitt, the master himself, brand new product. We got a brand new product coming on Friday. Neo
dash cams.
We launched a brand new dash camera brand too. Am I missing anything?
Oh gosh, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I got Bryan waving me down, saying, "Stop talking about that stuff. We need to get back." So I know I see him there. He's working his way back. So, but I think we might be missing one more thing that we launched today. What was it? There was something. Hold on. Gosh, you guys had so many today. I'm just gonna take a quick look.
Life is a blur.
Hold on. So, Museway. You talked about Museway DSP. Yeah. We're talking about the Ground Zero. Basically, is a launch, right?
Yeah.
We talked about Mio dash cams. Basically, the commercial side of things. That's the other side.
The commercial, and that's serious business. Very cool. Very exciting.
And shout out to obviously Alvin for doing a great job there. Okay, I'm gonna bring. Oh, Brian's trying to come in. Come on, Bryan. I see you there, buddy. You can make it. There you are. What's going on, Bryan?
Back. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. We were hoping you'd get back. There you are. You're back. Okay. Now, can we turn that cam or whatever the camera sideways so we can get the full view? There we are. All right.
Perfect.
We'll go straight back to where you last left off. Go for it.
Okay. Down just up. There. Okay. Up a little bit. There we go. All right, guys. So sorry about that. We just lost all internet to the building. That's a first. But let me show you guys a couple things here on this piece. So I want to, first of all, talk about kind of the strategy. The strategy would be to make a base plate first. And so that's what I've done here is I've taken that whole entire piece and just flush trimmed it together. So I took two pieces or the two layers, and let's just do a little section of it because I want to show you how to stack these. And if you guys have never done this, some do this all the time, others do not. Let's just walk through those steps really quick again so I can show you. But I want to establish that base plate piece so we can get this as one continuous piece. It is 4 pieces, but we've made it into one. So let's do that. We'll just take a piece of 1/4 inch MDF. And let's just walk through this one more time real quick. And I highly recommend you guys do this. If you're adding template tape or something, always wipe this off. I'm always surprised on how much actually dust is on there. And that's just going to ensure that your tape sticks really good. Use some double-sided template tape Justin can hook you up on this. It is going to have it's going to float here. You could put a spacer in there if you want. It's not that far of a bridge. And here we go. So we tape it generously. Let's rock this thing out. Let's pull this. And get all the paper off really good. And I'm going to just secure this on here. I want to make sure that you guys see this here because we're going to use the quad bearing. So let me peel this off. A couple steps here. Make sure you have enough clearance here. Let's peel these off. One last one. And we're looking good. There's that. Let's set this and just make sure that we have, you know, an overhang all the way around. Something like that. Okay. That template tape, it's a one-time application, and it's just to hold it on there while we perform that router step. Okay. If you want to put something in here, you can. You can put like a little bracer or a piece of wood. That's up to you. It is, you know, it's in between, but for the sake of time, I think we're going to be fine. Let me just move a couple things over here. And if you guys can see, I'm just going to do one section. I'm not going to do the whole thing. And then let's router this. All right. What's that? No, I need the specs. Right here. Okay. So here's this. Let's rock and roll. Our setup here is a JESM table. It's got an IVAC system just with a shop vac in here. So we're going to start this. And have it coming a little bit closer. Yeah. There you go. All right, and as you guys saw, did you see that transition? Come down a little bit lower if you can, Juan. The transition is just right there. See how it goes from a single to a double, and that's why you want that quad bearing because it works so much better. And we're just really just making that piece our base plate. It's our base for everything. So let's just fast forward out of our little cooking show. We just took that and routed it, boom, just like that. And now we have that outer shape. So we have an outer shape that we can kind of work with. We'll use this kind of a guide, and I'll just set this back on here so you can see. And I want to just talk about, this is the number 4. So this would be considered 5, and this is number 4. Now with number 4, we did something kind of tricky here. We compensated it 1/8 of an inch over. So this step right here, if you look at that, it's an 1/8 inch over on both sides. And I did that for 2 reasons. One, I want to fill this gap because I'm going to do vinyl and vinyl. We'll do a 2-tone. Let's say with the dark gray, light gray, just because we don't have time to paint it. You know, we're on a budget and these two will fit together. So that'll give us a 1/16 inch gap, a 32nd for both layers of vinyl. The total gap between here and here is 3/16. So we just filled it by 1/8, and that gives a 16th, a 32nd for each layer of vinyl. Everyone with me on that? This is the bit I used right here. For the sake of time, I'm not going to router it, but you can just imagine, you know, I actually didn't rough cut it either, and I just routed that edge off, and I did it on the outside, and I did it on the inside. So we went around and did that, and we're all set. I'm going to leave this attached. So the next step is we've already got this pre-taped. I want to take kind of our next step here is let's take some MDF. This is my favorite MDF. This is a MDF light. It's super cool. Some guys have a hard time getting it. This is something that we will stock. It's not going to be expensive, and it weighs, I would say, 50, 60% less than a piece of 3/4 inch normal wood. It's actually 0.7. It's not 3/4. It's 0.7. If you wanted to, measure it with a mic, that's what it would be. But we're going to take this and transfer this now, okay? And I'm going to flush trim it, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a 60-degree chamfer on this. It's going to give us a really cool look, and I think you guys will dig this. So this is just, a super fast way, like I said, production high end, a fast way to build cool trim panels, charge a premium rate for it, and you can switch it up. I mean, you could do a bridge in the center. You could add all kinds of stuff. You could add some of the circles and do a circle logo in the middle to make it different. You can change this thing just a little bit each time. We call it, we're going to just put some lipstick on it, okay? Just a little lipstick, maybe high heels. I don't know. It's up to you. But, we're going to dress it up a little bit. And that's all you need to do to give it a different look and feel. So I'll just center this thing up and go. Now, if you've never done this, you might think, man, this guy is nuts. He's going to just blast through this without cutting with a jigsaw. You can absolutely rough cut it, and you should if it's normal MDF. This is my preferred jigsaw, by the way. Cordless, Makita. We're Makita family over here. Whatever. Milwaukee's awesome. Milwaukee, Makita. I don't really care for any of the other ones, but those are my faves. So you could rough cut it inside and out. Let's just cut this outside and see what happens. And then we'll put a little chamfer on it. So let's get this going here. Let's get our specs. I'm going to raise this up. So unlock and raise this guy up. So the cutter is just barely above my workpiece. So if you look down, get eye level with it. I always tell everybody get eye level. And then you're going to lock this. And then let's rock it out. Let's cut this piece. So here we go. And look how nice. Touch it like butter. So we make contact. And you can see it cuts it nice. Now try to keep your workpiece on the table. So if you have to reposition, just rotate this back around, and then you can keep it back on the table and keep going. Now a little trick I like to do right here is I'm going to just open that up so I don't have a piece at the end. This is just separate. We can keep that off to the side, and I can keep cutting. There we go. But now let's cut this inside piece. We'll just drill a starting point, and I'm going to flush this real quick. I just want you guys to see this. I know it's taking a second, so just bear with me. And just take your time. Don't rush this part. There you go. Okay, so as we come to the end, just stay right here. Don't move. But there we go. So look, it's a new piece. It's actually a 1/4 of an inch bigger than our original template, 1/8 on each side to fill the gap. And then let me show you why we wanted to do that on the inside. We're going to use one of my favorite bits. This is called a 60-degree chamfer bit, and we're going to router just the inside edge of that. So if you can see that, it's going to give us a nice profile. And even if it takes away some of this outer edge right here, you know, that it's still going to look good. I think it's pretty sweet because it's going to lower that edge, and it's actually going to give it a little bit of a contour. So we can do a couple things with it. We're going to use a router shield to kind of hold this in place. So let's change our bit. This is why you need 2 tables, so you can change that bit quick. You can use a drill. Make sure this is unlocked. Bring this up, set your clutch, and then that's it. So that'll save you a little bit of time. Grab your wrenches. We like to get this height just perfect right here. And you can see in this one, we've got magnets embedded in for that dust shield. The dust shield, that's a cool piece. If you're not wanting to blow up your shop, it'll grab a lot of that dust. Okay, to tighten that up, this goes back in its tray. And by the way, this is a complete tray of oversizing. So it tells you, carpet, vinyl, and it's just for our template. So it fills the gap of 3/16. That's what these are for, and it tells you the actual thickness. Okay, so let's lower this back down. And some of these bigger bits, you want to be listening to it. Let me grab a bigger insert for it. Right here. This insert, I wanted to have, clearance around the outer edge. So, it is a bigger bit. We call this a monster bit because it's just taking up so much material. Make sure that's locked in. We'll do it in a couple steps. So you could take a scrap piece, which we'll do in just a second, and test it. First thing you guys want to do when you turn this on is listen to it. You can hear it, okay? So it sounds good. You want to listen for that to be unbalanced and it rattles, or if it's vibrating, stop it. Something's wrong. Retighten the collet up. Do something different. I think that'll help you out a lot. Let's test the height with this, and we'll just do it with this scrap piece of material right here. So let's just test it, see what's going to happen. And then the reason I like to do this is now we can check on how far it's going to cut into our piece. So let's raise it up. And it's just a quick way to kind of verify, the depth on it. And you guys will love this wood. It doesn't burn. All right, so now we're getting a little bit closer. And that's probably a good start right there. So we can try that, and that'll give us a good starting point. If you want more stability, this is a great idea. You just need to make sure that you have enough clearance for that bolt on the top there. But look at how much leverage I have. I can hold that thing down tight. And that's why we want to use that router shield, because it gives us a lot of surface area. This is a really cool piece. This was invented by a good friend of mine, Mark Fukuda. He's got a patent on it, and he has for a long time. So, he's definitely an innovator as well, and making things safe. So, have some type of safety device. Especially on these bigger pieces when you're using large bits. So, get that locked down. Lots of tape. Don't go cheap on that tape. So you have a lot of surface area. We're going to cut just the inside only. Don't make the mistake of coming in like this because you're not paying attention. We only want to do a 60-degree on that inside edge. Let's go. So now we can kind of fit the two together and see if we like that. So you get an idea just right there if we like it, if we want to change it, if we want to actually have side pieces only. You can make that determination and just add a piece that would fit here, like this. And it leaves this section open, leaves this section open. It's up to you. But look how fast I made that piece with very little effort. And this is why we use this MDF light. It's inexpensive, and then I'll come back and primer it. So it's a cool way to not use a really expensive plastic every time and layer it up. I know guys get caught up into, I only use plastic. That's awesome, but it's also, I don't know, 8 times as expensive as this. So it doesn't, sometimes the cost doesn't outweigh the benefit of why you want to use plastic, just to say I use only plastic. So you can shape it quick. You know, if you guys can't get it, let me know. I can give you guys some resources. We do sell this 24 by 32 pieces. They'll be cheap. It is something I get a lot of requests for, because you saw I did 0 rough cutting, none. I just flush trimmed it. I really used 3 bits, a 1/4 inch spiral, an oversized bit. You know, here's our bits, 3 bits. 3 bits in one template right here, here, and the template. 1/4 inch spiral, an 1/8 inch over, and a 60-degree chamfer bit. I mean, that's pretty basic right there. 3 bits, and look at the results. That thing's gonna be awesome. It's ready for vinyl. We don't have to, there's 0 Bondo, 0 jigsaw cutting, 3 bits, rock it out, and all you have to do is fit it to the car. You're fitting the edges. This part could even be carpet, and this is the only thing that's vinyl. So if that was the case, you don't have to route her any oversized. You would just carpet this and vinyl that, it's ready to go. So I hope you guys got a kind of a good idea of you know, what you can do with this, what's, you know, some of the ideas with it. It's very simple, but it can be complex, and the benefits are huge. So
I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, Bryan, but sometimes I lie in bed and I get hypnotized by watching these crazy cooking shows where they're making these ridiculous things over it. Like, you know what I mean? It's so satisfying. And I felt myself in a trance watching you router. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to let you know that.
Good.
Totally love how easy you made that look. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, well, of course he made it look easy. That's Bryan Schmitt using a router table. But you said it at the end. I was really hoping that you would, you know, kind of bring it back to all that. Was that literally it was the template, right? Those 3 bits that you just identified, and your router blocker. That's it. There was nothing else used.
Yeah. No, it's pretty basic.
No Bondo, no putty,
No bond.
nothing.
Yeah, you don't want
Justin, what do you think of that, man? I mean, I thought that was pretty darn slick.
Simple and effective.
Simple and effective. And isn't that the point behind all these kits that Mobile Solutions offers?
Yeah. I mean, you heard me call it the router revolution for a reason. You know, instead of taking 3 days to build a sub box, you know, that's fancy with fiberglass and sanding and paint and bodywork, you know, Bryan's showing us how to achieve the correct fit and finish, the correct gapping without dry times, with just the useful tools that he has. So it all just kind of makes sense. It's about productivity, and it's about being able to charge accordingly and being able to know exactly what you're capable of. And I think Bryan's templates really help, you know, any installer from kind of first to last get to that Mastertech status, especially with Bryan's training and help.
Congratulations, Bryan, on another successful launch of this new GT template.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I don't know how we're
jumping on, man.
I don't know how we're doing on time, but you know, hey, it was a pleasure. And you know, if we reach out to BB, Justin, their team, Joff, Jay, everybody, they're awesome guys. They'd love to help you. And yeah, we got some cool stuff planned, you know, a bit later this year. Can't really just say yet, but we got some cool stuff planned, so we're excited.
I just hope you can text me and let me know if there's something we need to announce. All right, Bryan?
I will for sure. I will.
Thank you. All right. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Totally. Thank
All
you
right.
so much, Bryan. Thanks for the
All
time
right.
tonight.
Hey, see you guys. Have a good night.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Straight from Tempe, Arizona, and the router table of Bryan Schmitt at Mobile Solutions. Yeah, I think we could close with that.
We're done. We're
We're
done.
done.
So I just want to say a huge shout out, Ben, to you guys and Frank and everyone kind of shelled in behind the scenes there. You guys made this as easy as possible. So thank you so much for this. It's been a long day. It's been a lot of information. Thank you to all the dealers and future dealers that spent their day with us watching. It was a pleasure. I love doing this stuff for you guys. You know, this is a passionate industry that I am passionate about. So, you know, don't ever let that passion go to the wayside and stay in touch with yourself and the little kid inside you, you know?
That's it, because that little kid is okay to let him out and have some fun once in a while, right?
Totally.
Justin, you've been an amazing co-captain, but we got so much more adventure, so much more stuff to do. Industry Week is not over yet, and I know we got a ton of hot dates between you and I for the rest of the season, as we roll out some cool new product for everybody to learn about. Justin, thank you very much. Thank you and your team. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, draws an official end to day 3 here at CMA Industry Week. All day long showcasing BB distribution, every category imaginable. And we certainly hope that you enjoyed watching and consuming this content as much as we did collaborating with BB Distribution, put it on for you. Of course, if you missed it or you're watching this on demand, thank you as well. Lots more content to go for the rest of the week. Great brands, great companies. But I think for today, I'm ready to shut her off and start back tomorrow when we got a whole new other lineup to present. Hey, thanks for watching once again. I'm Ben Wu for CMA Industry Week. Until tomorrow when we connect.